All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today, we're going Hollywood. Well, Hollywood meets like the future of tech.
Mm-hmm.
We found this Fox News article.
Yeah.
And it's about Nicolas Cage.
Oh, okay.
But he's got some pretty strong opinions about AI coming for actors' jobs.
Interesting.
So we're going to unpack all that. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage is always entertaining.
Always. And, he's not just like ranting about robots, right? This is like stuff that's already happening. Like he was at this film festival, the 25th Newport Beach Film Festival.
Okay.
And he's talking to these young actors, and he brings up this term, EBDR.
EBDR.
Yeah. Employment-Based Digital Replica.
Okay, I'm listening. What is that?
It's basically, and this is like allowed in the new SAG-AFTRA contract.
Wow.
Studios can now make a digital copy of you.
A digital copy? Like, what does that even mean?
Well, it's not just like scanning your face. It's like everything. Your voice, your movements, like every little like quirk you do when you're acting.
So they can like recreate your whole performance?
Yeah. Yeah. And Cage was saying that studios can like change your lines after you film. They can mess with your expressions, even your body language.
That's kind of scary, isn't it? Like, what does that mean for actors?
Right. It's like, where does the control even begin and end if they could just like change your performance?
Right. Like, is it even yours anymore?
And Cage came up with this it's kind of a mouthful, but it's MVMFMBMI. My voice, my face, my body, my imagination, my performance.
That's a statement.
Yeah, it's like a call to action.
And it's all happening right now. Like with the SAG strike, that was a big issue. AI.
Yeah, that was on a table.
So this isn't just Cage, like, off on a tangent.
Right. And like, he's worried about this stuff personally, too. He's even said he's hesitant to do those digital scans for roles. Like, he thinks AI could steal his body, like, even after he's gone.
Whoa. It's getting into some deep philosophical territory.
Right. And then you get into the whole, like, digital immortality thing, which is
right.
a whole other can of worms.
On the one hand, you could have, like, new Marilyn Monroe movies or James Dean.
Wait, but then where's the line? Like, could you just bring back anyone without their consent?
Yeah, it gets kind of creepy.
And Cage actually specifically mentioned James Dean and how he's not cool with that idea at all.
It does make you think, like, technology just keeps pushing, but should it?
And on a practical level, Cage is worried about jobs, too.
Yeah.
Especially for young actors just starting out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If they can just digitally replicate someone.
Why hire the real person?
It's a big worry we're seeing everywhere, AI replacing jobs.
Okay, so we've talked about the downsides, but is there anything good about AI in film? Or is it all bad news?
Well, it's not that simple, right? Like any tech, it depends how it's used. AI could do some cool stuff, like amazing visual effects or historical recreations, things we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not about saying no to AI, it's about using it responsibly.
Exactly. Like, how do we keep that human element, that artistry, even with AI in the mix?
Feels like we're at this, like, crossroads, right?
Yeah, one path is, like, amazing innovation, and the other is, like, losing the heart of art.
And I think Cage is like, hey, think about which path you want.
Yeah, he's really pushing us to think bigger. It's not just about acting. It's about what makes us human in this digital age. Like, what can AI never replace?
It's a lot to unpack, but to really get into it, we need to talk about what this means for actors practically. Like, how would their jobs actually change?
Yeah, good point. Like, imagine studios could use digital doubles for stunts.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
No more stunt performers. Or AI could just make all the background actors.
So it's not just about replacing actors, it's about the types of jobs changing, too.
Exactly. Like, being able to memorize lines might not be that important anymore.
Huh. So what would be important?
Maybe it'll be those things AI can't do. Emotional depth, those subtle expressions, connecting with the audience.
So acting would be less technical and more about, like, raw human emotion.
That's a cool idea. Some people think AI could actually make acting better.
Better.
Like, it frees actors from physical limits. So they can just focus on the performance, on the emotion.
So AI is a tool to enhance creativity, not replace it.
Exactly. And we're already seeing this, like AI making personalized movie trailers or super realistic historical stuff for documentaries.
So it's about finding that balance, right?
Yeah, embrace what AI can do, but keep that human element front and center.
But AI also changes the stories themselves, right? Like, what even is a character if they're digitally made?
That's a huge question. How do we connect with a story, with the characters, when it's all blurring together?
And this goes way beyond movies, right? TV, video games, VR.
Yeah, the whole future of entertainment is changing.
So maybe Cage isn't just predicting doom and gloom. Maybe he's starting a conversation.
Great. How do we want to shape this future where AI and creativity coexist?
Yeah, it's a reminder that we have a choice.
We have a say in this, and it's on us to make sure that human creativity isn't lost in all of this.
Right. So it's not just about the future of acting, it's the future of creativity itself.
Exactly. And those concerns Cage has, they're not just for actors, they're for all of us.
Like he keeps saying, protect your instrument.
It's such a powerful message. Like, protect your voice, your perspective. Don't let tech define you. Define how you use tech.
So where do we even go from here? Like, what's the takeaway for our listener?
I think, first, just be informed. Learn how AI is being used, not just in film, but everywhere.
Like we always say, knowledge is power.
Right. And then focus on those human skills AI can't replicate. Critical thinking, empathy, creativity.
Those are things that'll be even more valuable as AI gets better.
It's about becoming more human, not less.
It's like Cage is saying, don't let technology define you. Define yourself and how you want to use it.
That's it perfectly. And remember, we're all figuring this out together.
We are. And it's up to all of us to shape this future, to make sure human creativity stays at the heart of it all.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. But it gets even more interesting when you think about how AI could actually change the way actors work.
Okay, so like, beyond just being replaced, how would the actual jobs change?
Like, imagine this. Studios could use AI to create digital stunt doubles.
Oh, so no more real stunt people.
Potentially, yeah. Or think about background actors, extras. AI could just generate them.
Huh. So it's not just replacing actors altogether, it's changing what those jobs even look like.
Right. Like all those years of training to do crazy stunts.
Or learning lines perfectly.
Might not be as important.
So what would be important then? If AI can do all that physical stuff?
That's the big question. Maybe those things that are, like, uniquely human. The stuff AI can't fake.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of stuff?
Well, things like emotional depth. Those really nuanced expressions. That ability to truly connect with the audience.
So it's less about technical skill and more about, like, raw human emotion.
Right. And some experts actually think this could make acting even better.
Wait, better. How could taking away some of the craft make it better?
Well, if you think about it, actors wouldn't be limited by their physical abilities anymore. They could just focus on the pure performance, the emotion.
So AI could become like a tool to enhance creativity rather than replacing it.
Exactly. And there are filmmakers already doing this, like using AI to make movie trailers that are tailored to your specific tastes.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Or creating super realistic historical recreations for documentaries. Things that would be impossible to do with traditional methods.
So it's all about finding the right balance, right?
Right. Embracing what AI can offer, but without losing that essential human element.
But if we're talking about AI making characters or even whole scenes, doesn't that change the stories themselves?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the biggest questions out there. Like, what even is a character anymore when they can be digitally manipulated?
And can we even connect with a story the same way when it's all kind of blurry like that?
It's a whole new era of storytelling.
And this goes way beyond just movies, right? We're talking TV, video games, even virtual reality.
Yeah, this is about the future of entertainment as a whole.
So maybe Cage isn't just warning us about the end of the world. Maybe he's challenging us to think differently about how we use this technology.
Exactly. How do AI and human creativity coexist? How do we make sure we're using it for good?
And it's not just a question for Hollywood. It's for all of us. It's a lot to think about. Like, this isn't just some sci-fi movie. This is real life.
Right. And it's bigger than just acting. It's about, like you said, the future of creativity itself.
And that whole idea that Cage keeps bringing up about protecting your instrument.
Yeah.
That's powerful. And it applies to everyone, right? Like, whatever you do, your skills, your perspective, that's your instrument.
It is, and it's on us to make sure we don't lose that in this whole AI revolution.
So, okay, we've covered a lot. Cage's warnings, the impact on acting jobs, even just what creativity means in this new world. But where do we go from here? Like, what's the takeaway for our listener?
Well, I think first, just stay informed. Like, learn about how AI is being used, not just in movies, but everywhere.
Right, knowledge is power, like we always say.
Exactly. And then focus on the things that make you you, the things AI can't replicate. Your critical thinking, your empathy, your creativity.
Those are the things that'll set you apart, right?
Yeah.
As AI gets more advanced.
Definitely. It's about becoming more human, not less.
It's like Cage is saying, don't let technology define who you are. You define how you use it.
That's a great way to put it. And remember, we're all figuring this out together. It's a whole new world.
We are.
Yeah.
And we get to decide what that world looks like.
We do.
So let's make sure human creativity is at the heart of it.
Well, folks, that's our deep dive into Nicolas Cage, AI, and the future of creativity.
It's a lot to process.
It is. But hopefully it'll get you thinking, get those conversations going. Because these are big questions, and we need to talk about them.
Thanks for joining us, and keep those deep dives going.